still burning. So hold me close, now baby. I do what I'm told, still learning to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm, no longer wishing, you're my lucky strike. Love the way you ride, look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1 million life, we could roll the dice, act like you surprised, but you already know. Oh yeah, got lucky overnight, jackpot when I got the invite. Let me wrap my arms around you, cause I can't go home without you. And my heart just vibe with you, babe. Wanna go sky high with you, babe. Gotta bring you close to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. Cooler than cold, I'm all in. So load up the dice, so heavy. The way that you roll, I'm falling. So I never fall, I'm ready to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm, no longer wishing, you're my lucky strike. Love the way you ride, look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1 million life, yeah, we could roll the dice, yeah. Act like you surprised, but you already know. You're my lucky strike, and I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike.
I know that you think it's so important to convince everyone else that you're not boring, but it's making me feel like my skin is crawling. I keep pouring out my empathy to someone I don't even see eye to eye with. I don't mind if you don't have it all together. Yeah, I get it, we're all human, but I give you an inch and you take miles. It's tragic, ruining my sanity with tales of animosity. I'd rather cry than let you drive me crazy, lose my mind, and I swear I might die if I cared more, but you're not worth the time. You never put me up front, cause it's your spotlight. I'm in the backseat of my own car. I'd rather cry than let you drive me crazy one more night. Climbing up somebody else's ladder just to make yourself feel just a little bigger. I don't know if I've seen anything that's sadder. It's so hard to comprehend how you don't
Bang,
even
bang,
understand
bang!
what's
Welcome
happening
into the
to
Woody
you.
Scoot Racing channel, live here on the TikTok platform. Get ready to go racing here for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division. We're tackling on the Langley Speedway here tonight in Hampton, Virginia. Open in 1950. Capacity of 9,000. Sold out asses here tonight in Virginia, ready to watch the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division playoff race live here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll kick it down here on the live broadcast as these guys have just rounded up qualifying, getting ready to kick off tonight's heat races. There's the number 7 of Travo Wall. We're moments away from the action pack for the first laps here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys tuning in here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And as we always do, before we start tonight's heat races, we will kick off tonight's national anthem with the Star Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go racing here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Modified Division. Throw it back down here on the broadcast cam as they continue to fill in the field. We'll cut down the music here in just a moment as we get ready to round out Speedway. And if you're new here to the I-85 Asphalt Series, new to the Modified Division, new to the Booty Scoot Racing channel, you have found the place to be here on a Monday night for some modified racing. 2 heat races is what we'll tack on here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like the first one's going to be round out of it. Looks like going to be about 6 cars here tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that further said, we'll get tonight's starting grids. Started off here, starting on the pole, drawing lucky spot number 1 here for heat race number 1 is the number 01 of Joshua Thornton. Going to be on the outside of him here in heat race number 1 on the outside row, driving the number 088 from Gulliford, Connecticut. That's the co-owner of Fast Living Motorsports, Andrew Allen. Excuse me here, ladies and gentlemen, I skipped over one of the guys here down on the bottom side, John Michael Bryant. Looking to make something shake here tonight. The Boogeyman, your mom's favorite driver from Greer, South Carolina, in the number 23 Rogue Modified. Chris Knighty in the Triple Deuce Modified here tonight from B-Town, Indiana. Rubbin's racing, and he's ready to put that Nerf bar to somebody. Get to the front of the back. Starting out behind him will be the number 21 from Augusta, Maine, the G&E Roofing Baxter Modified. From the number 21 of Jeremy Douglas. Corey Tesner, the number 10 Mayhew Tools Wheelen Modified, will round out the final spot here tonight, drawing the unfortunate final spot here tonight in the pre-driver qualification. We'll cut the music here. We're getting ready to go racing on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for heat race number 1 on a Monday night here for the Modified Division. For playoff race number 2 here at the Langley Speedway, Joshua Thornton presses the gas. We're racing here in Langley. 15 laps scheduled here for the heat races. 2 are what we will run here. The first one scheduled here looks like going to be 6 cars. Here's John Michael Bryant's Big Loose down here on the bottom side of the racetrack back here. John Michael Bryant gets Big Loose there off the back straightaway. Down across the front stretch here. Here goes Andrew Allen. He's Big Loose across the front stretch. Looks like that might bring out the caution flag here. But these guys are going to continue to keep it straight here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Never mind, the caution flag is out here. Looks like Joshua Thornton's going around here on the front stretch. The former race leader, the number 01 here, will have to back that ass up on the Booty Scoot Racing channel as we always do here for an instant replay. The number 01 Combat Warriors Outdoor Modified goes around Joshua Thornton. Just trying to make something shake here. Looks like down into turns 3 and 4. Just trying to get some heat into these Hoosier tires here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 12 laps to go here in heat race number 1. We're looking at Joshua Thornton, the race leader here as he comes off turns 1 and 2 here. Maybe just a little bit too much on the gas there. It's going to step out from behind him. A way to get on the brake. Corey Tesner's able to avoid him as well. The number 01, Joshua Thornton, the Combat Warrior Modified. No damage on that number 01. He'll get that thing re-straight back out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll take that quick commercial break and be back after this. Don't go nowhere. Back here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel live here on the TikTok platform. You're watching the Modified Division for the I-85 Asphalt Series live here from the Langley Speedway. The I-85 Asphalt Series is presented by the Home Run Cafe located in Greer, South Carolina. Go get them at them today. Tell them the I-85 Asphalt Series sent you. Ladies and gentlemen, the I-85 Asphalt Series presented by Pop Sports Bed Swings. The custom-made handcrafted porch bed swings, 864-978-1913. Back down here on the main broadcast here, we'll kill the music here. We're working the caution flag. Clean up here in turns. Off of turns 2 down the backstretch for the number 01. That guy right there, the Wheelen Modified of Joshua Thornton. Former race leader here tonight to kick off the heat race. He'll go around there off of turn 2 all by himself. The number 10 of Corey, Riptide Tesner, able to fumble through the traffic there. He'll redeem the race lead here behind Peter, the base car. 11 laps remain here as we continuously pick off a little bit of laps here underneath the caution flag here for the first time here tonight at the Langley Speedway. Reminding you, tomorrow night you can catch the I-85 Asphalt Series late model stock division right back here tomorrow night at the Langley Speedway. So these guys will camp out here. Heard Corey Tesner, Chris Knighty, John Michael Bryant talking before the race. The front 3 drivers here that they were headed out to the club right after tonight's conclusion of tonight's event. Excuse me here, John Michael Bryant, knowing to get down and dirty. Your mom's favorite driver. Looking to make something shake here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. These guys are swerving back and forth, left and right, getting ready to go back racing behind Peter the pace car. Corey Tessner's going to be the race leader with the B-Town, Indiana kid of Chris Knighty here in the Triple Deuce black and green machine on the outside. This is heat race number 1 if you're just now tuning in to the modified division here for the Asphalt Series. Corey Tessner's going to press the gas. We are back green here at the Langley Speedway for heat race number 1 for the I-85 Asphalt Series modified division. Door to door here, north bar to north bar through turns 1 and 2. Andrew Allen will make a little contact there with Jeremy Douglas down into turns 3 and 4 here. We'll finally complete a lap here. 9 laps remain here in heat race number 1 after we picked up a little bit underneath the caution flag. John Michael Bryant shooting up the racetrack right there. If he'll miss the the entry of turns 1 and 2, that'll cost him a spot. Here comes Joshua Thornton to jump right back down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked with a couple of these modified drivers before the start of tonight's event here during a happy hour when they were out here practicing. Everybody said the outside lane is not where you want to be. This place is flat as it could be. Possibly as flat as my ex-girlfriend here down on the bottom side of the racetrack, though, number 01, trying to use that paint down through turns 3 and 4 to get a little bit of extra rotation down to that modified. Joshua Thornton back up to the third place spot, after spinning out from the race lead here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Andrew Allen, John Michael Bryant battle back here for the 4th place spot. Jeremy Douglas looks like he's trying to save that modified here possibly for tonight's feature. Maybe hoping for a little bit of chaos to break out in front of him with everybody's nose to tail here through turns 3 and 22, down the back straightaway on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's going to be all Corey Tessner here through turns 3 and 4 with 5 laps remaining. But the battle for that 2nd place spot is heating back up here between Chris Knighty and Joshua Thornton. Chris Knighty a little bit off the bottom side of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. We'll open up the door, north bar to north bar with Josh Thornton, down into turns 3 and 4. Josh Thornton back up to the 2nd place spot. 3 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Corey Tessner's going to have to run for his life here. Joshua Thornton will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around, and he was navigating his way through traffic. 3 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for heat race number 1 here for the modified division. Live here at the Langley Motor Speedway, it's going to be Corey Tessner, Joshua Thornton, Chris Knighty, Andrew Allen, John Michael Bryant, and Jeremy Douglas rounding out the back half of the field here with 2 laps remaining down the back straightaway. Corey Tessner will head off turns 3 and 4 this time around. He'll see the white flag held up by Freddie the Flagman, presented by AFLglobal.com. Down into turns 1 and 2, on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Getting ahead of myself here. It's Corey Tessner's going to find his way down into turns 3 and 4 here for the final time tonight in heat race number 1. He'll come off the corner, and Corey Tessner's going to pick up the heat race win, give it to Josh Thornton, Chris Knighty over Andrew Allen, who will succeed John Michael Bryant. Jeremy Douglas will get the back half of the field. Corey Tessner from Greer, South Carolina, driver the number 10 Mayhew modified, picks up the heat win. He'll start in the front row. Stay right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Don't go nowhere. We're getting ready to kick off heat race number 2. Live here from the Langley Motor Speedway. There to go the rest of the contestants filling in the field here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you slap that like button, press that follow button, head on over to the YouTube page located in the top right of your screen, and subscribe to the YouTube page. All the full races are posted there for the Xfinity Series, Truck Series, late model stocks. We got dirt. We got it all right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Getting ready to kick off heat race number 2. We'll have to go ahead and kick off tonight's starting introductions for heat race number 2. Celebrating his 23rd birthday today. That's the number 02 Maynard Motors modified on the pole here for heat race number 2 of Nicholas Maynard. James Fountain from Greenville, South Carolina, in the country town, pink and yellow, WHELEN modified. We'll round out the second place spot here on the front row. And on the outside, second row here, driving the number 8 Harley Davidson WHELEN modified. That's number 8 of Tony Cook. Chase Johnson, currently the playoff point sitter, leading right now here. Mathematically, Chase Johnson is almost clinched his way to the championship race on points here, as he is about almost 100-plus points on the rest of the field. Can Chase Johnson continue to add on to that tonight? Driving the number 91 Fayette Racing modified, Race Pycon from Greer, South Carolina. That's the 3-time iRacing champion. Travel Wall, driving the number 7 champion modified from Pelzer, South Carolina, will round out the tail end of the field here for heat race number 2. So looks like going to be 5 guys shaking out the field for heat race number 2, as we got 11 set to take on the main event here. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you guys to rise and stand as you're able. Take those caps off here, as we're getting ready to knock out the final heat race here tonight. There is 60 laps scheduled for tonight's feature. Nicholas Maynard's going to be the kid in control here through the Geico restart zone. We are green for heat race number 2 here on the WHELEN Racing channel. Nicholas Maynard dives down into turns 1 and 2. James Fountain will run the back end of Chase Johnson here. Chase Johnson's going to be able to pull door to door to get the gas down way before the number 24, James Fountain here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we told you guys you don't want to be stuck on the outside of the racetrack here, as this track is as flat as your ex-girlfriend. You best believe it. Tony Cook and the Harley Davidson number 8 modified down on the bottom side of the racetrack trying to make something shake. James Fountain to pull door to door with Chase Johnson down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Nicholas Maynard's able to hold it. He'll roll through turns 3 and 4 down the front straightaway here, complete of another lap. 13 laps remain here on the WHELEN Racing channel. Chase Johnson gets a little bump from James Fountain. He'll go around, ass into the wall. Caution flag flies here for the number 91 of Showtime, Chase Johnson from Greer, South Carolina. Chase Johnson getting ruffled up here through turns 1 and 2. At the back that ass up here as he ends up ass first into turn 2 here, right outside the Dr. Mimi P Laser and Cosmetics Center Supercut sponsor sign outside of turn 2 here. The number 91 of Chase Johnson. We will back that ass up here. Him and looks like James Fountain were battling really hard here. We'll take a look here. Don't look like it was any ill intentions here. Well, down in here, looks like James Fountain just trying to offset the number 91 for a pass on the bottom side. And Chase Johnson trying to hold his position here. He'll back in ass first into the outside wall. No damage to the number 91 modified. He's able to refire that thing. We'll keep it underneath the caution flag here. Nicholas Maynard will catch Peter the pace car. We'll take that commercial break. Be back after this. Don't go nowhere. Bang, bang, back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We're going to second caution flag in total here for the night. The first one for heat race number 2 is the caution flag flies there for the number 24, James Fountain in the pink and yellow modified as he gets into the back end of Showtime, Chase Johnson. Chase Johnson down on pit road trying to get some of that damage assessed here. One fast repair for the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN modified division. It's going to be the kid of Nicholas Maynard celebrating his 23rd birthday today. Currently in the lead right now. Behind him will be the number 24 Country Time modified of James Fountain. And then the number 8, Harley Davidson modified. That's a beautiful paint scheme underneath the lights here tonight of Tony Cook and Travo Wall driving the number 7 Champion Ford modified out here tonight. It looks like Showtime Chase Johnson's off of pit road here. He'll stay on the lead lap, catch the tail end of the field. Peter the pace car will keep the lights on top of the pace car though, and he'll keep Nicholas Maynard on the rest of the field behind him here. Showtime Chase Johnson catches the tail end of the field here. 10 laps to go in heat race number 2. We will cut the music down here. We appreciate you guys tuning in here tonight for a little bit of modified action replay. Well, playoff is what I should really be saying. Another replay for these playoff drivers to go at it here, try to add some more points here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second playoff race here for the WHELEN modified division. Ladies and gentlemen, see if we can't throw up the track schedule here for the remaining schedule for the WHELEN modified division. Not very sure if we're going to have a season 2 here, so right now, this is currently how we've shaked out. We just knocked out the North Wilkesboro Speedway for playoff race number 1 to kick off the season. Now we're here at Langley, heading to Richmond 2 weeks from now to cut it down to our final 4 drivers and who's going to be racing at South Boston for that championship. Excuse me, for the first time ever here in the WHELEN modified division here. Everybody looks like they're going to be double file back behind Freddie the flagman with 9 laps to go. We'll be 8 when we cross the line. It's going to be Nicholas Maynard, the race leader, with James Fountain on the outside. Nicholas Maynard presses the gas quick through the early. And they threw the restart zone. He'll be able to come down to the bottom side of the racetrack here. Tony Cook looking up underneath the number 24. James Fountain not able to get it though. We have to come up off the gas here. Chase Johnson looking to get around the number 8 of Tony Cook down here in the turns 3 and 4 here. They'll work their way off the corners here. James Fountain slowly trying to back up to the back bumper of Nicholas Maynard. Nicholas Maynard needs to get back down to the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll miss the yellow line there. Slow up big time. That'll allow James Fountain to close up the gap there through turns 1 and 2 here. Chase Johnson back up to the 3rd place spot. Quick and early in a fashion. Jump here with 6 laps remaining here on the WHELEN Racing channel. Nicholas Maynard down into turns 1 and 2. He's got the race lead behind James Fountain here. Chase Johnson follows, then Tony Cook, then Travo Wall here. Corey Riptide Tesler picked up the heat race win and heat race number 1, 5 laps to go around this next time around. Can Nicholas Maynard pick up the win here on his birthday? Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, he was really able to wrap through turns 1 and 2 really well there. Able to get those 2 left front modified tires down there, but they'll shoot up the bottom side. Through turns 3, 4, that's opened up the door for the number 24 Countryside modified, but James Fountain, Nicholas Maynard leaving a little bit of room through turns 1 and 2. They're still no far off the corner. James Fountain able to gas up through turns 3 and 4 down the back straightaway. Nicholas Maynard in jeopardy, losing the race lead, and he'll lose it to James Fountain with 3 laps remaining here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Chase Johnson has been brought back into the picture there with these two getting side by side. Ladies and gentlemen, we told you guys you don't want to be throwing up on the top side of the racetrack here, as it is so flat here. It's really hard to get any kind of thing turned here. Nicholas Maynard down on the bottom side of the apron trying to make something shake with the white flag. Coming out next time around. 2 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Tony Cook and Travel Wall continue to battle it out here for the top 4 spot here. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, where you finish is where you'll start for the feature here. White flag is in the air for James Fountain and the Country Time Modified here. This is going to be a shady, whoa, close battle here through turns 1 and 2. Nicholas Maynard, Showtime, Chase Johnson down the back straightaway. This is going to be the battle for the second place spot as James Fountain heads off turns 1 and 2. He'll come across the line here. He'll win heat race number 2. Chase Johnson will get the slide job over Nicholas Maynard for the second place spot there to end it. Tony Cook over Travel Wall, and that's how they round out the night's heat races. James Fountain picks up the victory. Make sure you keep it right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Don't you go nowhere. Grab another cigarette, ride another beer, whatever the hell it is. Don't really give a damn. You're watching the Modified Division for the I-85 Asphalt Series. And while we're waiting for these guys to finish wrapping up this warm-up session, because they're grabbing their beers and cigarettes, the I-85 Asphalt Series presented by Clean With Care LLC. Go get out Denise Hampton, the owner today. We can email her at cleanwithcareservice.com. You go see them, whatever the case may be. The I-85 Asphalt Series presented by Racing Electronic. You want to hear all these guys screaming and yelling at each other underneath the green flag action here, cussing and screaming and fighting. Go to Racing Electronics today and grab your scanner. Get out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. But as we wind down here, the warm-up session, anybody new joining in here tonight, welcome to the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This is the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division track fact of the night. Taking on the Langley Speedway. We just raced our 2 heat races. Corey Tesner and the number 10 Modified picked up the win in heat race number 1. James Fountain was able to get around Nicholas Maynard there at the closing in of heat race number 2 at about 5 laps to go to pick up the heat race win for heat race number 2. So Corey Tesner and James Fountain will start on the front row here tonight for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division. Back down here on the main broadcast here, these guys are getting ready to load in behind Peter the pace car here. We'll kill the music down just a tad bit here, because I don't want anybody to get lit up in here and spill their beer on somebody here. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever this guy down here in the gray t-shirt is, please go down there and get him away from the stands here, as we are getting ready to tack on 60 laps here tonight for the feature around the Langley Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a policy around here on the I-85 Asphalt Series. All children are to be kept inside of the grandstands or accompanied by an adult here. And ladies and gentlemen, please remind your mom to keep her shirt on here as we get ready to go through the driver's introduction here. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Douglas is loading in the back of the field here. Looks like that's going to be everybody here for the Modified Division. Get ready to go racing. Kicking off the pole spot here tonight. Heat race winner number 1. Driving the number 10. That's Corey Tesner. Heat race winner number 2 here tonight. Getting around there at the end to the race lead to be able to pick up the victory. That's the number 24 of James Fountain. Looks like Showtime Chase Johnson's going to round out the 4th place spot here on the outside road, driving the number 91. Driving the number 01, Wheeling Modified here tonight, that's going to be Joshua Thornton. Driving the number 02, Maynard Motors Modified, the birthday kid here tonight, that's Nicholas Maynard. Chris Knighty driving the Triple Deuce Wheeling Modified from B-Town, Indiana, looking to make something shake here tonight. Tony Cook driving the number 8, Harley Davidson Modified. Will shake out. Looks like going to be the 7th or 8th place spot here as we get ready to kick off tonight's event. Driving the number 23, Road Modified machine here tonight, the white and green. The Boogeyman, that's your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryan. Trevo Wall, that's your mom's 2nd favorite driver here tonight. Driving the number 7, Champion Wheeling Modified. Looking to make something shake to the front. Jeremy Douglas will round out the tail end of the field here tonight, driving the number 21, G&E Roofing Baxter Modified from Augusta, Maine. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I almost keep saying late model. Reminding you tomorrow night, the I-85 Asphalt Series, the late model stock division, will be right here in Langley, live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. A couple of these guys are staying after the fact here, so they can be in attendance for tomorrow night's event here. Some of these guys going out to party after the conclusion of tonight's event here. Looks like Peter the pace car, excuse me, is getting ready to hang that left on the pit road. We're getting ready to go racing here for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division. 65 laps are scheduled here. Corey Riptide Tester presses the gas here. Here we are racing here at the Langley Speedway. Side by side, the Nerf bar here, but for the majority of the pack here, Nicholas Smader's going to get passed by the triple deuce of Chris Noddy as they work their way down into turns 3 and 4 for the first time here tonight in the feature with everybody on track at one time here. 65 laps are what we're scheduled for, and hopefully we get some green flag laps as everybody's piled around the outside of the racetrack here in their cars. Standing room only here, 9,000 asses sold out here tonight for the Booty Scoot Racing channel down into turns 1 and 2 here. Looks like the caution flag has flown. Caution flag has flown here, possibly looks like for the number 23 of John Michael Bryant. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for an instant replay. We'll have to see and take a look exactly what the hell just happened here. As the caution flag flew out quickly and early here. Not sure what it was for. It looks like it will be for the number 23 of John Michael Bryant here. So John Michael Bryant will back that ass up. Take a look here down into turns 3 and 4 here. Battling door to door with the number 88 of Andrew Allen. The boogeyman John Michael Bryant just gets loose off the corner. It looks like he was able to trigger the caution flag here as he'll get the incident points for going off track there. So John Michael Bryant able to hold on to that race car there, keep it clean with no damage on it here, but it did trigger the caution flag here. So we'll work that one here for the first time here tonight as everybody continues to work their way back through the field here. We'll take that quick commercial break. Corey Tesner leads it. We'll be back in just a moment.
I was standing on the city lights. All this doubt around me, never look, I got it right. Don't you try to hit me, now you live a petty life.
Bang, bang. We're back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel working the first caution flag here tonight for the feature for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division here. And as we're looking back here, everybody else look like they're going to be rounding in the tail of the field here. John Michael Bryant's the reason the caution flag come out there. He gets a little loose off turns 3 and 4 across the line here. As your mom will stand up and pack her shit up already. He's very disappointed there. That's your mom's favorite driver. He's going to have to work his way back through the field here. But it looks like we're getting ready to get the choose cone here behind Peter the base car. Corey Testner's going to be on the inside of the race leader. James Fountain's going to be on the outside, followed by the number 01 of Joshua Thornton. And then the number 91 of Chase Johnson, on the outside here. Chris Knighty in the triple deuce machine will round out the top 5 spot here on the bottom side here. The kid of Nicholas Maynard. And the number 02 Maynard Motors Modified will roll up to the 6th place spot with Andrew Allen scooting up here to the 7th place spot. Tony Cook, Travel Wall, and Jeremy Douglas right out the rest of the tail end of the field here. So should be able to get ready to go racing next time around as Peter the pace car will flip the lights back onto that pace car here. We appreciate you guys tuning in here tonight on a Monday night, especially for that, for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division. I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed for what you're getting ready to see here. This is playoff race number 2 for the Modified Division. Not very sure if we're getting ready or we're going to have a season 2, I shall say, here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the I-85 Asphalt Series. We'd have to talk to the admin and see how things have been shaking. It's been one hell of a season so far. Tons of big time wrecks here, tons of great time, great racing as well. Tons of respect at times. Peter the base car will hang the left on the pit road. Corey Tester's firing off. He's really quick and early through the Geico restart zone here. Down in the turns 1 and 2 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 7 laps are complete here for the night's feature. Hopefully we can pick off some green flag laps here. Chase Johnson down on the bottom side of the apron trying to make a move around the number 01. A power move there for the number 91, of Chase Johnson around the Joshua Thornton machine, and James Fountain here battling on the outside. Nicholas Maynard scooted up out the groove on the top side of the racetrack as well. And Joshua Thornton's looking to put the Nerf bar back to the number 24, James Fountain here. Again, the kid of Nicholas Maynard scooted up out through turns 3 and 4 here. The outside line, very treacherous here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We talked about tons of modified drivers during the happy hour earlier today when the sun was out here. Everybody was dialing in these modifieds. They said you don't want to be caught lacking on the outside. Here at the Langley Speedway, Joshua Thornton gets tagged. He'll go around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Caution flag flies here. Across the front stretch, the crowd will roar. And this bald-headed fuck down here just hopped the fence here. As his favorite driver just got turned around. That's Joshua Thornton here. He's pissed off as he's got his number 01 hat on. He is not happy with the way Joshua Thornton was just raced here. We'll back that ass up here, throw up the instant replay. We'll take a look and see what just happened to the number 01 of Joshua Thornton. The second time he's been around the night. Chris Knighty with a little bit of contact there as well. Looks like they were on the bottom side of the racetrack through turns 3 and 4, so this escalated back here on the back stretch We'll back that ass up here, try to ride on board with Chris Knight as he works his way down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Joshua Thornton was down there as well. Joshua Thornton was a little bit loose already. Looks like Chris Knight just gave him the bumper, then finished him off there across the front stretch here. But nowhere to go really for Chris Knight. Joshua Thornton looked like he was already a little bit loose here in that Combat Warrior Modified. Able to get it refired though. He'll roll that thing across the camera here. Joshua Thornton pissed off inside of that Modified. Peter the pace car back out on the racetrack. Looks like Corey Tessner, still the race leader, will be back with another commercial break after this. Don't go nowhere. Bang, bang. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Working the caution flag here for the second time tonight. Joshua Thornton in the number 01 Modified. Gets a little bit of contact there from the triple deuce of Chris Knighty. It looked like nothing intentional off the front bumper of Chris Knighty here. And just like his nickname implies, he was probably just screaming, uh-oh, inside of that race car. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. This little fine huzz just walked out in front of me right here in front of the booth. We're here in Virginia at the Langley Speedway, and I have seen tons of bad bitches around the racetrack here tonight. You don't mind if I do at the conclusion of tonight's race, where I'll be finding myself down here on the infield on pit road. Ladies and gentlemen, trying to get me a little bit of action here. But first, we got to get through the action here for the Modified Division. Chase Johnson's going to move up to the second place spot here after a couple bold moves down on the bottom side of the apron. Chris Knighty with a little bit of contact moves up to the fourth place spot here. Everybody else tailing in the tail end of the field. Nicholas Maynard will lose a fuck ton of positions there. Underneath that green flag run as Joshua Thornton's caught the tail end of the field here. Peter the pace car should cut the lights off on top of that big ass truck of his, and yes he does. There they go, getting ready to go racing this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We would really gladly appreciate it if you hit that like button, press that follow button here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, get us to 1,000 likes here in the chat, and you head on over to the YouTube page and you can find all the conclusion and full races posted there. We got Xfinity trucks, Next Gen Cup, Gen 6 Cup, dirt, you name it, we got it. On the Booty Scoot Racing channel, Corey Tessner is going to be the race leader here. Get ready to fire it back off from behind Peter the pace car here. Through the Geico restart zone. Corey Tessner brings it back green here at the Langley Speedway. Everybody's going to be fanned out door to door here, down into turns 1 and 2 here. This, ladies and gentlemen, a 0.34 mile track here, really much like a bull ring. Is how it's ran, very flat, kind of like my ex-girlfriend. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack here. Corey Tessner gets a little bump there for the number 24, James Fallon. The number 91 of Chase Johnson will roll to the back Nerf bar of the number 10 of Corey Tessner. A little contact made there, but Corey Tessner's able to hold on to the race car here. John Michael Bryan to the outside wall there, and he's able to hold on to that Modified. That'll open up the door for the kid of Nicholas Maynard down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Here comes Joshua Thornton, trying to get back to that, possibly that back bumper. Chris Knighty here, maybe a little bit of history brewing in the making here. Is Nicholas Maynard still stuck on the outside of the racetrack. Here's Joshua Thornton, who cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around, and it damn sure looks like it's here. He's working his way back through the field. Chase Johnson will get around Corey Riptide Tessner. James Fountain has made the pass for the race lead. He is selling away down the back straightaway here. The Country Time Pink Late Model from Greenville, South Carolina, already picked up a win this year on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He's currently a playoff driver as well. Third locked in on the points here. So as they currently run right now, the front three drivers are locked in on points. Showtime Chase Johnson at the top of that points list battle. Corey Tessner in the second place spot. Then it'll give it to James Fountain. Points paid here out, and so will the finishing positions. If you've been here since the beginning, you've done call 2 of the heat races tonight here. James Fountain picked up the win there, and that he got around the kid of Nicholas Maynard there with about 3 laps to go in his. And then Corey Riptide Tessner was able to put BTA in heat race number 1 and pull away there with about a 2-second win over the rest of the pack here. Everybody's able to hold their thing out here. We're finally single file here in the Modified Division. Hopefully we can pick off some clean green flag racing laps. Here's Tony Cook in the number 8 Harley Davidson WHELEN Modified down here in the turns 3 and 4 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Tony Cook, ladies and gentlemen, 60-something years old. Been sim racing since it's been a thing here. Tons of experience from the Harley Davidson number 8 WHELEN Modified. Been doing it since it's been a thing here. He used to race in the same league as Dale Jr. So tons of experience from the number 8 of Tony Cook here. Meanwhile, Joshua Thornton still working the back bumper here, trying to run down the number 8 as he gets around the triple deuce of Chris Knighty. I bet Chris Knighty, nothing to do here with the number 01 of Joshua Thornton here. He's trying to save a little bit of Hoosier tire on that Modified down and to turns 3 and 4 here. Chris Knighty from B-Town, Indiana. trying to make something shake here as you see his long hair and beard sticking out that helmet inside of that race car here. Rubbin's racing, and Chris Knotty's not afraid to put that Nerf bar to the back of somebody here for position here as he slowly closes back in on the back front for the number 01 of Joshua Thornton here. John Michael Bryant goes around early in the night's event to start the night. He's able to hold on to the race car though, but he was able enough to trigger the caution flag here. So it looks like we got a parking lot up here. Everybody has been pulled back together here. A bunch of bumping and banging here as the sparks fly out. The number 21 of Jeremy Douglas is modified here as he's hard down on the brake, scraping the front Nerf bar across the front here, ladies and gentlemen. 26 laps are complete out of the scheduled 65 here on the Woody Scoot Racing channel. You're watching the Wheeling Modified Division for the I-85 Asphalt Series live here on the Woody Scoot Racing channel. Joshua Thornton will come around that time, but James Fountain is slowly selling away with a race lead as you look out the tail end, or I like to say the back half of the number 24 modified here is Chase Johnson trying to work around the back end of, or the front end, excuse me, of Corey Riptide Tester trying to chop off the bottom side of the racetrack here. Everybody's really been down here trying to use some of that yellow line, and that paint is extra grip here. Chase Johnson, is not able to pull away from Corey Tester down here. Corey Tester looks like he's got his hands absolutely busy inside of that modified. Looking down here on the bottom side of the racetrack here, Corey Tester's able to get around the number 91 of Chase Johnson here. Chase Johnson's going to have to redial in that race car here and get back to it. 30 laps are complete this time around. On the Woody Scoot Racing channel, James Fountain's the race leader, followed by Corey Tesner, Chase Johnson, and Andrew Allen. That'll round out the top four. Tony Cook's moved up to the top five here. Joshua Thornton and Chris Knighty. These two already went at it one time here tonight. Chris Knighty gave a little bit of Nerf bar to the back of number 101. Looked just like this. A little deja vu here at the Langley Speedway. We have to keep an eye on this battle here as it's starting to heat up here. Chris Knighty will roll right back to the back bumper of the Combat Warriors, number 01 modified of Joshua Thornton here. But he won't put it to it this time here. Chris Knighty will overshoot the corner there just a tad bit. He's got a little bit of a great arc though, some great handling inside of that triple deuce machine. But Joshua Thornton's just slowly picking off laps here as he's rolling into that back bumper of Tony Cook here riding on board with Billy the Blimp driver here about 10,000 feet above the racetrack here, giving you some action-packed shots here around the Langley Speedway as these guys continue to go at it here and throw slide jobs on one another. Looks like Joshua Thornton will miss the bottom side of the racetrack here. That'll open up the door for Chris Knighty. They'll battle door to door back here in the turns 3 and 4. Door to door, Chris Knotty's able to make the pass though around Joshua Thornton as they head through turns 3 and 4 here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the halfway point here of the night's event this time around. James Fountain's led majority of tonight's event so far as he's won heat race number 1. Contact made there between Joshua Thornton and Chris Knighty down the back straightaway. John Michael Bryant, door bang there from Chris Knighty there. A little bit of door bang from John Michael Bryant to Chris Knighty. These guys are maybe possibly losing in their frustration. That's Jeremy Douglas and the kid of Nicholas Maynard right back into it here. The kid celebrating his 23rd birthday here tonight, driving the number 02 modified. He's down on the bottom side of the racetrack here, riding behind John Michael Bryant. And he's got Jeremy Douglas filling in the tail end of the field right behind him. Travo Walsh trying to dial in that modified, try to get some handling underneath it here. 36 laps are complete, now 37. James Fountain continuing to lead them around here. This is possibly our longest green flag run we have had yet so far here on the Woody Scoot Racing channel for the Wheeling Modified Division. Down the back straightaway, Joshua Thornton and Chris Knighty continue to go at it here on the Woody Scoot Racing channel. This has been the battle to watch so far. John Michael Bryant down on the bottom side of the racetrack there, racing with the kid Nicholas Maynard. These two are going at it as well down here, using every bit of the racetrack here to make speed. Nicholas Maynard rolling the bottom side of the paint. So is Jeremy Douglas, and John Michael Bryant. Chris Knighty, though, losing a little bit of touch there through turns 3 and 4 to the back bumper. Joshua Thornton here will shoot back up here to the front where the front of the pack, where the battles have really decimated themselves here. James Fountain's got about a 4-wheel modified car length lead over Corey Tesner. There's only about 1 car length lead between Chase Johnson, and Corey Tesner, and Andrew Allen slowly trying to dial in that 88 modified, But I would have to imagine 25 laps to go this time around. Andrew Allen's been saving a little bit of Hoosier tire on that modified, looking to make a push to the front here soon. 25 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, on the Woody Scoot Racing channel. We are glad you are watching here tonight. Make sure you press that like button, press that follow button here. Is Chris Knighty here, John Michael Bryant, Nicholas Maynard brought back into each other again. You see Chris Knighty, hands all over the racetrack here as he's trapped on that outside here. We talked about it for the majority of the night's event here. You don't want to be trapped on the outside here, where it is very flat here, very flat chested. Like one of the ladies that I saw out there earlier coming from the concession stand. When I tell you she was straight neck and bones, she looked like a chicken leg out there. Corey Tesner, the number 10 Mayhew modified, trying to run down Chase Johnson here for that second place spot with 23 laps remaining here. Contacts made back here. Chris Knighty goes around, contacts here. The caution flag is out. Jeremy Douglas Peter the pace car is coming out as well. Chris Knotty's able to jet up on the gas there, get that thing turned back around, but he looks like he might lose a lap here underneath the caution flag here. So we'll throw up the instant replay here for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division. It's a triple deuce of Chris Knotty. It looks like he'll take a little ride here through turns 1 and 2 here. Him and Jeremy Douglas here. Looks like a little bit of contact made here. We'll take a look here. Chris Knotty down into turns 1 and 2 here. Maybe a little contact made there from Jeremy Douglas. Jeremy Douglas looks like Chris Knotty and Jeremy Douglas both off the bottom side of the racetrack. They're not able to hold the line that they were looking for. Chris Knotty, though, really able to hold on to it there and lock it down and keep it off the fence and off of anybody else. Will get the modified turnaround there with the race leader, James Fountain, will zoom on right by. And Chris Knotty will lose the lap here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll work the caution flag. What about 15 laps to go when we return? We'll be back after this. Don't go nowhere. Bang, bang. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Working the third caution flag here tonight for the feature. If you're liking what you're seeing, go ahead and scan the code on your screen. Get yourself out here, the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division. These folks also offer late model stocks as well. You can catch those tomorrow night right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, right here at the Langley Speedway, as that's where we will be taking on tomorrow night's main event here, ladies and gentlemen. Down here on the main broadcast here, as you see your Racing Electronics scoring ticker with 20 laps to go on the left side of your screen. And you see the Booty Scoot Racing channel up there on the top right of your screen. Make sure you head on over to the YouTube page and you can check out all the conclusion and full races posted there here. Looks like we're getting ready to go back racing here next time around. Here's Peter the pace car. Still got the lights on top of that big ass jacked up truck of his. Looking like Jason Aldean out here. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 01 of Joshua Thornton's been the man tonight here to talk about so far. Somebody's knocked one of the cones onto the racetrack here. We'll have to wait for one of the track crew officials to come out there and grab that here. 19 laps to go on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Will be 18 when we take the green flag laps. The green flag this next time around. James Fountain's going to be the race leader here in the first place spot. We'll have Chase Johnson here on the outside of him in the second place spot, followed by Andrew Allen in the fourth place spot, with Corey Tesler rounding out the inside row, third place. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This is the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division. 19 laps rest to go here in playoff race number 2. Live here from Langley, the country time modified of James Fountain stumps on the gas. 18 laps remain here. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack here, Chris Knotty's able to hold on here and roll to catch the back end of the field. Tony Cook and everybody else really piling up here. Joshua Thornton goes around. Caution flags out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the number 01 of Joshua Thornton. As trouble finds him again, we'll back it up for the instant replay here. We'll back it up here, shake a little ass, and see what happened. The Combat Warriors modified down into turns 3 and 4 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Battling door-to-door there with John Michael Bryant. Maybe a little contact made, yes, from the Boogeyman to Joshua Thornton. It'll ship him up the racetrack here, and he'll go back down, able to hold on to it. No contact made to anybody else. We will back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. See if we can't ride out the front bumper here. We'll ride on board with the Boogeyman, your mom's favorite driver. Ladies and gentlemen, I seen your mom out there earlier. We want to remind you, if you're not going to wear a shirt to the racetrack, to please put some pasties inside of those nipples. Nobody wants to see that. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, John Michael Bryant, definitely some contact made there. As Jeremy Douglas is able to scoot his way through it as well, but Joshua Thornton will take a nasty ride here. We're right on board for the final angle here tonight for this replay with 18 laps to go with Joshua Thornton working his way down here into turns 1 and 2 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Just gets tagged by John Michael Bryant. Nothing he can do. And he's able to lock it down, though, and hold on to it here, but I think he's able to get it refired here. So he should be able to keep himself on the lead lap here. James Fountain comes across the line there. We'll take the commercial break here. It's Peter the pace car catches up. We'll be back after this. Don't go nowhere.
Try to open up, it wasn't good enough. Put in my all and got nothing back. Now I'm stuck in the rain, dealing with all this pain. Why you gotta do me like that? Don't say you love me, then go and leave me. Can't get ugly, trust and believe me. Say to myself, looks so deceiving. Trying to fight back this far from easy. I've seen
Bang, bang. Welcome back here on the Mini Scoot Racing channel, the I-85 Asphalt Series, presented by Creek Water River Risky, whatever the hell you want to call it. Make sure you go get you a bottle today. Drink responsibly. Your DUI is not on us. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll throw it back down here to the remaining schedule here for the Modified Division. If you're just now tuning in, make sure you check in here 2 weeks from now. Our final playoff race before we cut it down to our final 4 drivers to see who will race for the championship at South Boston. We'll be at Richmond. Back down here on the racetrack here, we'll kill the music here as we don't want to blow your eardrums out any more than they've probably already been blown out here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division. The I-85 Asphalt Series, excuse me, home of the late model stock division and Wheeling Modifieds. Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably one of the very few modified races leagues that you can find on iRacing well along live here on the TikTok platform on a Monday night. And for all the full races posted to the YouTube page, go check out all the races we have done as well. I want to give a big shout out to the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard, celebrating his 23rd birthday today. Looking to make something shake here. We have to change that driver card here. He's no longer 22 years young. Ladies and gentlemen, he is currently rounded out in the 7th place spot here. Tons of work for him if he's going to make his way to the front here. 14 laps remain here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's going to be Chase Johnson and James Fountain to the 2 guys up front here. James Fountain pressing the gas here. We're back green on the Langley Speedway here for the Wheeling Modified Division. Chase Johnson down here. Getting stacked up big time here by Andrew Allen. Hey, Corey Tesler, that'll pallet up the rest of the field here. Nicholas Maynard and Tony Cook's able to take advantage there. And John Michael Bryant has to get hard onto the brake there through the corner. He's big loose off of turns 3 and 4 here, down into turns 1 and 2 here. Nicholas Maynard, Tony Cook making contact there with Andrew Allen. They'll bang a little bit of an Nerf bar as we work their way down into turns 1 and 2 here. Chase Johnson trying to run down the race leader. James Fountain not able to get it through turns 3 and 4. 11 laps remain. Great shots here underneath the lights at the Langley Speedway here in Hampton, Virginia. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, the bitches I've seen around the racetrack here from Virginia, absolute dime pieces. The number 02, Nicholas Maynard, a little loose there as well. The battle for the race lead shaking up here. Chase Johnson looking hard because he's looking to pull up Nerf bar with the number 24, James Fountain here, having to crank that thing, extra thing. Give it some Soldier Boy, would you? 3 wide for the race lead here for Corey Tesler. We'll think better of it back here down into turns 1 and 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the battle is heating up here for the race lead here. Will we crown ourselves another winner here tonight for the playoff race number 2 here? Remember, guys, playoff wins don't advance you automatically anymore to the championship race like they once did before. Everybody running old school point styles here for the playoffs. The most points here, the top 4 scored in points at the end of the 3 races will be the 4 racing for the championship race. It's Chris Knighty will put a little bit of bumper there to the back. A little bit of Nerf bar, to the back bumper of Jeremy Douglas. Send him up the racetrack. A little bit more contacts made. Jeremy Douglas moved up out of the racetrack. Caution flag fly. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have to back that ass up here. I believe Jeremy Douglas looking to come and have a little couple of words with the triple deuce of Chris Knighty here. As he is not happy with the way that he was just raced here. The caution flag is out. We'll back that ass up here on the instant replay. A little bit of contact made way before turns 1 and 2 here. We'll back it up here where Jeremy Douglas gets parked here as he's got it stopped on the racetrack like a protester. We'll back it up here and take a little look there. As you see, Chris Knighty down here into turns 1 and 2 here. He'll give a little bit of a bumper to the number 21 of Jeremy Douglas. Get him a little bit loose there. Everything was all good here. James Fountain gets turned across the front stretch here. That might have been what the caution flag was for. And never mind. I'll take my apologies back from Chris Knighty here. Jeremy Douglas a little loose on the top side of the racetrack here. Shoves Chris Knighty off the racetrack here. Jeremy Douglas possibly just trying to get slowed up here for James Fountain, who also went around. We'll back that ass up here for the Country Time Modified. James Fountain led the most laps here tonight. Looks like he'll spin from the 2nd place spot here. Maybe has cooked it like a barbecue on those Hoosier tires, Not having a good time here, but having a great, good country time here. He was down on the bottom side of the racetrack here. We'll take a look at what happened with the number 24, James Fountain here. Yeah, he just gets a little loose off turns 3 and 4. He's able to lock it down, though. And with everybody else battling back here, Joshua Thornton and Travis Wall was able to get through this mess up here between Jeremy Douglas and Chris Knighty. Jeremy Douglas just loose off the top side of the racetrack here. Great awareness, though, from Chris Knighty. We dogged him in the beginning. When we take it all back, we apologize, Chris Knighty. We'll take that commercial break. Be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere.
show. Need that pronto. Look like a rave in the condo. Heck of a night in Toronto. She said, boy, you in Morocco. Pearl white mention in the top gold. Fill up my cup with the pop, whoa. High off life for the spot, though. Running at the visa, really talking to a real life Mona Lisa. Jesus pieces hanging off the fleecer. So much going on, it's hard to focus on the features. I got too many, I'm going. Too crazy, and I got bad ones and they ready. Good time, so now it's into it, we left that.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we work the caution flag here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the 5th time here tonight. We'll kill the music here down as everybody's got the crowd jumping around here. Everybody excited here as we are headed to overtime here on the on the Booty Scoot Racing channel's I-85 Asphalt Series Modified Division for playoff race number 2, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it works. Green, white, checkered style. These guys will get 2 attempts at the overtime here tonight at the Langley Speedway. When the green flag drops, it will be 2-lap shootout. Green, white, checkered. If these guys were to wreck and bring out a caution flag before grabbing the final lap white flag, we will re-wreck them one more time. 2 chances out of here for the overtime for the playoff race here tonight at Langley. But if these guys are able to complete the full first lap here, get back to the white flag before wrecking, all hands are off here from the admin. The first person back to the checker flag will win it. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to go overtime racing here from the Langley Speedway. 2 laps to go when we go back racing. Showtime Chase Johnson mathematically is already locked into the championship race on points. Kenny picked up another victory to sour up the competition here. Corey Tessner looking for another victory here tonight after picking up the win in his heat race. Andrew Allen looking for his first win on the season. Ladies and gentlemen, overtime on our way here, live from the Langley Speedway, down door to door here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everybody working side by side, nerf bar to nerf bar. 2 laps to go here, down into turns 3 and 4 here. It looks like everybody's able to hold on here. James Fountain looking to make a little bit of a move here. Andrew Allen will move up here to the top side of the racetrack here, trying to battle on the outside of Corey Tessner. A little bit of contacts made here. Everybody works their way off turns 1 and 2. But it's all time. Showtime. Chase Johnson through turns 1 and 3 and 4 for the final time here tonight. Corey Tessner, big loose off the corner. Contacts made across the front stretch. Airborne across the front stretch. A big pile up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Wow. John Michael Bryant sideways. Corey Tessner sideways as well. Travel Wall parked it up on the top side of the racetrack as well. But Showtime Chase Johnson victorious here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll back that ass up here for another instant replay. Here is mayhem across the front stretch here. They ended at the checkered flag. Showtime Chase Johnson picked up the victory here, but that's without everybody else absolutely airborne here at the Langley Speedway. They were heading off the corner here. Looks like Corey Tessner just gets loose, comes across the entire field here. Tons of guys involved. Nicholas Maynard and them shoved up at the top side of the racetrack. John Michael Bryant backwards here. Travo Wall as well. We'll back it up one more time. Right on board with the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant, your mom's favorite driver. She packs up the cooler. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not throw the breeze on the racetrack here. So I'm looking out the front of the booth. Just some hard racing here down into turns 3 and 4 here. Coming to the checker flag. John Michael Bryant's down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Mayhem ensuing in front of him. He was already loose off the racetrack. He just goes around. But everybody piles up here into turns 1 and 2 here. And that's how they ended up turning it up. Finishing everybody wadding up their modifieds here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. But Showtime Chase Johnson was the one picking up the checker flag this time around for, I believe, the 5th time this year for the WHELEN Modified Division. Showtime Chase Johnson will add a little bit of sour to the sweetness with a win here as he's already headed to the championship race. Corey Tessner will get the 2nd place spot, even though he'll spin across the front of the pack here and take everybody else around with them. Showtime Chase Johnson victorious here tonight at the Langley Speedway. Showtime Chase Johnson burns it down here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll throw up tonight's Heat 1 results. Corey Riptide Tessner picked up the victory, followed by Joshua Thornton, Chris Knighty, Andrew Allen, the Boogeyman, your mom's favorite driver, got the 5th place spot there, and Jeremy Douglas rounded out the 6th place spot for Heat Race number 1. We'll switch over here to the Heat Race number 2 results, where James Fountain, Showtime Chase Johnson, Nicholas Maynard, Tony Cook, and Travo Wall is how they shook out Heat Race number 2. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring up the feature here tonight as you see it there on the Racing Electronics scoreboard on the left side of your screen. Chase Johnson picks up the victory here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a moment with the post-race show here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll get a pit reporter down there with a couple of your favorite drivers. We'll get a word from the race winner, Chase Johnson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere.
Before you cross me, baby, 'cause I don't break for boys. I'm moving on, hey, got nothing left to say. Let's be on my way, best of luck. I'm moving on, got nothing left to
Pow, pow, pow. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the conclusion of tonight's I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Playoff Race number 2 of 3. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks from now, we will be heading on over to the Richmond Raceway. We'll talk about that just a moment here as we get ready to round out the final results for you guys here tonight. Showtime Chase Johnson was able to pick up the victory in the feature here tonight for his 4th win, I believe, now on the year for him in the Wheeling Modified division. As his guys continue to put into work to that program, they'll continue to succeed here. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Riptide Tessner rounded out the 2nd place spot here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel in his number 10 Mayhew Modified. The Fast Living number 88 Modified of Andrew Allen got the 3rd place spot, followed by Chris Knighty in his Fast Living in his XI Racing Triple Deuce Modified. He'll come across in the best spot he's finished so far this season. Tony Cook will get a top 5 here tonight in his number 8 Harley Davidson Privateer Team Modified. Joshua Thornton will get the 6th place spot here tonight, followed by James Fountain in the 7th place spot here in his number 24 Country Time Modified. And the number 02 Birthday Kid of Nicholas Maynard and his team Nitsky goes from P4 there to P8 to finish tonight's event here. Not the way he was looking to shake out tonight's event. The number 9 of 9th place spot will go to Jeremy Douglas here driving the 21 Baxter Modified, and John Michael Bryant driving the number 23 Road Modified from Greer, South Carolina. Not the performance he was looking for here tonight. He'll get the top 10 spot to round it out. Travo Wall will shake out the tail end of the field here. A little bit of handling conditions here tonight from Travo. But ladies and gentlemen, we got our pit reporter down there on pit road with the race winner of the number 91 Modified of Showtime Chase Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, see if they got us. Do you got us?
We're down here in Victory Lane live here from the Langley Speedway for the I-85 Asphalt Series Playoff Race number 2. Chase, just kind of walk us through your night here tonight. You really had a okay heat run there, and you come in here tonight and you're able to pick up the victory after a runner-up in the heat race. Excuse me. Just kind of walk us through the rest of your season as you will mathematically lock yourself into the championship race. There's no way that no one can catch you on point to put you out. So kind of just walk us through your night and your season.
Yeah, the night started out, kind of crazy. We got dumped there in the heat race, and then we were able to drive back to second. And then the main event here was fun. I really didn't think I was going to win there at times. With James and Corey, we were just battling. It was a very good race. We showed a lot of respect. But yeah, I'm happy to be able to lock ourselves in to go race for a championship. We've had a good season here. I believe this will be our last season racing the modifieds. I don't think we're going to do it next season, but so hopefully we can go out with a bang. So thanks for all the sponsors. We've had a good year, so hopefully we can have one more good race.
That's the number 91 of Chase Johnson. He'll pick up the victory here tonight. We'll scoot down to the runner-up of Corey Tessner. Corey, kind of walk us through your night as well, as you'll win the heat race here tonight at Langley, and you're able to stay in that second place spot in the playoff spot rankings, and just kind of walk us through your season, how you've been able to pick off over the years, as you was one of the only other winners we had as well.
Yeah, we've been bringing a fast car to the track all year and brought another one here tonight. Felt good during the heat, felt good. During the feature, just got loose there in the opening laps and just gave up the spot to James, and then just never could really recover the track position from there. Thought I might have a chance on my last restart, but it just didn't go our way. But once again, proud to bring another fast car to the racetrack, and we'll go race for a championship, hopefully.
Corey Chesney remains in the second place spot here in the playoff standings. Will scoot down to the
ladies and gentlemen, we'll see what's going on here. We'll have a little bit of technical difficulties that I see James Fountain has currently left the racetrack here. Not happy with the performance that he had tonight. I'll call down here to the pit reporter, see if we can't get a word from the boogeyman, your mom's favorite driver. We'll be back in just a moment.
Baby, can't you see?
Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the driver introductions. The driver interviews part of tonight's event here. We appreciate you guys tuning in here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The pit reporter, I think he's made his way on over to the number 23 modified of John Michael Bryant. Your mom's favorite driver, brought on the top 10 today. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll call down here to see what he's got to say.
You know, overall the car handled like shit. I don't know what the boys at the shop brought here today. I mean, I don't know if they thought we was going to Richmond next week and got the races mixed up or what. Damn car wouldn't turn left, and when it would, it wanted to turn right when it wanted to turn left. I don't know what the hell they did. You know, we're going to come back at it when we do go to Richmond next week. Maybe they actually set the car up right then and, you know, try to get back in that top four. I know we lost that top four today in the playoffs, so we're just going to come back harder next time.
That's the number 23 of John Michael Bryant. Back up to the booth.
Back up to the booth. It sounds like John Michael Bryant not happy with the way that his guys brought him a race car tonight that wasn't very competitive here tonight. A top 10 spot for the playoff driver, John Michael Bryant. He's not going to be happy with that performance here, as he was already the last one locked in on the point system. I do not have those with me here at the current moment, ladies and gentlemen, where I would throw them up for you. Again, here is the final modified playoff results here for tonight for playoff race number 2. Chase Johnson got the win over Corey Tesner. Andrew Allen will get the third place spot, followed by Chris Knighty in that fourth place spot. Tony Cook with a great run here tonight, the veteran in the top 5 spot for him. Joshua Thornton will come out here tonight, a little bit of trouble for the 0-1 machine, but he'll rally back for a top 6 spot. James Fountain will go around on the front stretch there with a couple laps left there. Led the most laps here tonight, but the 24 will settle for a 7th place spot. The kid of Nicholas Maynard, not really sure what happened to him there at the end. Got stuck on the top side of the racetrack for the majority part of it. Couldn't get the move in here. The Team Nitsky 02 brings home that 8th place spot. Jeremy Douglas in the number 21 G&E Roofing modified here played his card smart here tonight, looking for all the points possible and let everybody else take themselves out here. I think it'll play well for him. John Michael Bryant in the top 10 spot here. J Money Motorsports 23 machine just didn't have it tonight. As he said, you heard him there underneath his post-race interview, the guys just have to do better. They have to start bringing some faster modifieds if they want a chance to race for that championship 2 weeks from now. Trevo Wall in number 7 Rock and Roll Racing, also another playoff driver, just not the race he was looking for tonight. The number 7 will round out the 11th place spot here, ladies and gentlemen. That'll do it for us here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here from the Langley Speedway for the I-85 Asphalt Series. WHELEN Modified Division. We got the late model stocks here tomorrow night at Langley. Don't want you guys to miss, so make sure that you head on over to the YouTube page and you check it out right there for all the full races. If you do miss it, we gladly appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find anything you would want to right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and on the YouTube page. We got it all, asphalt, dirt, you name it. See you tomorrow night for the late model stock series for the I-85 Asphalt Series. Have a blessed one.